What if I told you that being just a little bit hungry could actually improve your mood, make you smarter, and even make your food taste ridiculously good? Okay, let's dive into this pretty wild idea that moderate fasting might be one of the most powerful tools you have for your body and your brain.
I mean, our source material just comes right out of the gate with this statement. It's provocative, right? It frames hunger not as this terrible thing we need to avoid, but as this incredibly potent tool we can actually use. The idea is that the benefits are so profound, they feel like a performance enhancer, except this one is already built right into our biology.
So where do most people start? Well, the most obvious benefit, of course, is weight loss. But as you're about to see, that's really just the first stop on a much more fascinating journey into how our bodies are designed to work. Let's just get this one out of the way, because you hear it all the time. People say, I eat almost nothing and I just can't lose weight. Now, the source uses a very stark and blunt example to make a point about physics. To lose weight, you have to have a calorie deficit. You just have to burn more than you take in. It's a fundamental principle, and while things like hormones might play a role in the speed of the process, they can't break the laws of physics.
But let's be real. Why does any of this matter beyond just looking good? Well, this is the crucial part. It's all about your health and your longevity. Carrying excess weight is directly tied to a shorter life and, as you can see, a much higher risk for all of these awful diseases. So this isn't about vanity. It's about living not just longer, but fundamentally better.
Okay, so let's move beyond just weight. Now we're getting into how fasting can actually change your perception of pleasure itself, especially when it comes to food. And trust me, this is where things get really interesting.
You know, every single time we eat something tasty, our brain gives us a little hit of feel-good molecules like dopamine. But here's the catch. If we're constantly snacking, constantly grazing all day long, our pleasure receptors just get worn out. They become less sensitive. It's like listening to your favorite song on repeat. Eventually, it just doesn't hit the same. Food starts to taste kind of bland.
And this is the magic trick. Fasting acts like a hard reset for your brain's entire pleasure system. When you give those receptors a break, you restore their sensitivity. Seriously, after a day or two of not eating, that first bite of something as simple as a piece of bread can feel absolutely euphoric. And here's the key. This actually makes fasting easier over time. When simple, healthy food becomes that rewarding, you're way less likely to crave junk. It creates this powerful, self-reinforcing cycle.
So beyond just pleasure, fasting kicks our body's internal repair system into overdrive. And a major player here is something called human growth hormone, or HGH. Think of it as your body's master repair crew. This hormone is absolutely crucial for healing injuries, regenerating tissue, and just fixing cells all over your body, from your muscles all the way to your nerves. And wow, just look at that number to understand the sheer power of this. The data shows that after just 1 or 2 days of fasting, HGH production can skyrocket by a staggering 1,000%. That is not a typo. It means your body's ability to rebuild and heal itself is massively, almost unbelievably accelerated.
Okay, all of that is amazing, but this next part, this is what might be the most powerful benefit of all. We're talking about what hunger does for your brain. And no, not just temporary focus. We're talking about physically changing your brain structure for the better.
It sounds like science fiction, I know, but it's true. Animal studies have found that intermittent fasting can lead to a physically thicker hippocampus. That's the memory center of your brain. It's like you're literally pumping up your brain the same way you'd build a muscle in the gym.
So how on earth does this happen? Well, a huge part of the answer is this incredible protein called BDNF. The best way to think about it is like Miracle-Gro for your neurons. It protects them, it helps them forge new connections, and it's absolutely essential for learning new things and creating long-term memories. And here's the proof in the pudding. Just take a look at this chart. During periods of fasting, the production of this vital brain fertilizer spikes by about 50%. What this does is create the perfect chemical environment for your brain to grow stronger, learn faster, and become way more resilient.
And hey, this isn't just something they see in mice in a lab. This works in people too. A study on elderly human subjects found that just by reducing their calories by 30%, they saw a 30% improvement on memory tests. And that was after only 3 months. This shows a direct, measurable link between eating a little less and a real, tangible boost in brain power.
Okay, so the benefits are pretty clear, right? But I know what you're probably thinking. How do I actually do this without it feeling totally extreme? Well, the good news is there are some really simple, super manageable ways to get started. Here are the 2 most popular methods out there.
First, you've got the 16-8 method. This is all about when you eat. You just squeeze all your meals into an 8-hour window each day. This is great for people who like a daily routine. Then there's the 5-2 method. This one's about how much you eat, where you have 2 very low-calorie days each week. This can be better if you want more flexibility on most days. Both are fantastic ways to get the job done.
And you know what? If you want the absolute, dead simplest way to just begin, here it is. You don't need a stopwatch, you don't need a special diet. Just try this. Tonight, go to bed feeling just a little bit hungry. Then when you wake up, instead of eating right away, have a coffee or a tea and just wait an hour or two. Boom! Just by doing that, you've effortlessly created a 14 or 16-hour fasting window, and you've already started the whole process. It really is that simple.
So, we'll end on this one final thought. You know, we live in a world that's just obsessed with adding more. More supplements, more superfoods, more productivity hacks. But maybe, just maybe, the most powerful strategy for enhancing our own minds is simply, for a short time, taking something away.